YouTube.
Me too.
All right. Verifying YouTube. YouTube looks good, sounds good. So, welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. It's halfway through the week on a Wednesday, and we got halfway more to go. But then we got holiday weekend coming up, right? It's Memorial Day weekend, so awesome. But for now, we're here to provide support or answer any questions about our services or software. If you have any of those, you can jump over to our uh, IRC chat, which you can check out at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live. And we have a few ways you can join: embedded, new Windows, or in your own IRC client. And you can ask us any questions. We'll stop whatever we're rambling about and talk about those instead. Otherwise, you can help direct our questions or check out the links we got or whatever from there. So awesome. How's everybody doing this Wednesday?
Doing pretty well.
Cool.
Okay.
What was that, Johnny? You kind of cut out there.
I said it's okay.
It's better than not okay. So let's start off with an awesome deal link here. Amazon has a Dremel on sale for just under half price. $50 for the Dremel 3000. And if you've never had a Dremel, it's definitely worth getting because they're so incredibly useful. Like, the uses for them are beyond imagination. The more accessories you get for them, the more stuff you can do with them. I've had a Dremel for several years, and every time I feel like I don't need it, I come up with another reason that I can use it. So I like them, and if you want one and don't have one, they're on sale now. So check it out.
That's a really good price.
Yeah, and for 28 attachments and all, that's good. Then you can go out and get attachment kits that you can do a whole bunch of other stuff with. So check that
I
stuff
picked up
out.
one of the Anchor battery packs that were on sale the other day.
Oh, nice. Is it working so well? So
I
far, so well?
I just charged it for the first time.
Nice. Do you have any of the quick charge chargers?
Yes.
Because that'll charge it much faster.
Yeah, I just actually used my USB port on my computer to charge it this time, but because it was convenient. But yeah, I
Oh.
have some of those.
Yeah, I normally use the 2.1 on my battery backup to charge mine, but that's usually because if I use it, then I prep for charging. Like right after I use it, I recharge it and make sure it's charged, and we'll check them every 3 months or so. Johnny, on the other hand, will use it until it's dead, and then when she needs it, will be like, "Oh, I need to charge it." I'm like, "That's not how battery packs work. You use it and then you charge it immediately, and then it's ready for you when you need to charge it." Because we actually had the power go out here a week or two ago, and she's like, "My phone's almost dead," and I was like, "Well, where's your battery pack?" She's like, "It's dead. I need to charge it," and I was like, "Well, that's not how that works. You have to do that prior." So, um, but of course, she relies on me having all of my battery packs charged, which I do have quite a few. So works out all right, I guess. Still. Um, so another interesting app. It's been reviewed by G-Hacks. There's a WinAuth Windows two-factor authentication app, and it looks like it supports a few different two-factor auth things, and that is kind of aggravating. Like, I have to have a YubiKey / Google style authenticator. I have to have a Microsoft authenticator. I have to have a Steam authenticator. This one will put it all into one authentication app. And I saw it even had an option to lock it with the YubiKey challenge response set up. So if you have your YubiKey set up for that mode, you can lock the configuration tool with that. So that's pretty interesting and nice to see someone's finally putting those all into one place. I still would be a little bit wary about setting those up on an untrusted app or developer, but not that big a deal, I guess. So, got a few other links out here, just some random cool stuff. I'm seeing if there's anything technology specific that we want to talk about. I guess we can mention this, that CryptXXX has updated to version 3.0 and has effectively broken any of the decryptors that were out there for it. So there's that. Oh, there was big news from the e-ink industry. E-ink is finally moving to color. Currently, it's only for really large signs, but e-ink displays are like the really low power consumption, and Kindle made it really big. Apparently, it's easy to read and has very low power consumption, so very nice there, but it's been limited to black and white up until now. Still is limited to black and white in my opinion, but they figured out how to do it on large screens, so now they just need to shrink that technology, which shouldn't be as bad, I would think. So oh, this was fun. The FBI warned of keystroke loggers disguised as USB phone chargers. And basically this goes off of the Sammy Kagar, I think it is, DEF CON talk that was over a year ago, where some Microsoft Wireless uses cell phone bands to talk back and forth to the host, and basically someone can just plug in a phone charger and just leave it there, and it's going to be recording all of the data, and then whenever the attacker wants to get that data, they just go grab that phone charger and they're set. The interesting thing there, though, is because it would make it hard for attack vectors to be limited, because I mean, a lot of important stuff gets typed in on your keyboard, and you wouldn't know that that's where your security hole is if it's all going wireless and you have a random USB phone charger out there in your office. I mean, how many security auditors are going to be like, sorry, you can't bring your phone charger into work anymore? Yeah, is that a phone charger? We're going to need to confiscate that. And it also, I guess, it kind of brings up the point of, should you have wireless stuff if you're transmitting or typing secure things? Should offices look at only having wired keyboards and mice, possibly? So I imagine even mice could be used for some stuff, but guess it all depends. Here's a couple fun ones. So someone took the entire Star Wars A New Hope and did it as a scrolling website, basically. So you scroll through a website, and 157 images measuring over 400 feet in Adobe Illustrator comes out and ends up being the entire movie. So pretty well done. I looked at it for a little bit. It was kind of interesting. I did not watch the entire movie that way, though. So Quark, I am sure that you could have it broadcast, since it's already using cell phone bands. I'm sure it wouldn't be that much to put a SIM card in there and have it broadcast out to a telephone number or something like that, data plan possibly. And I imagine it would actually charge it's fairly trivial if you're powering a board to record and pick up transmissions that you could just pass that power along to a USB charger and even make it slow so they'd leave it plugged in for longer is probably what I would do. But yeah, I'm sure there's a few different ways. The attack, the DEF CON talk that I think they link in that Slashdot article, he goes into a little bit more in-depth options about things, I think. So check that out as well. They do have a USB key thing. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, key grabber. So yeah, if you get the key grabber Wi-Fi Premium, this one actually plugs in to your keyboard, so you can have it. Basically, when you plug the USB keyboard in, you plug it into there, or if you plug the wireless adapter in, you plug it into the system. Very few people would probably ever notice that. I rarely check mine, but I do have mine sitting right here on my desk, so it wouldn't be that hard to see someone has tampered with it. But a friend of mine actually got this and was thinking about wiring up some wired keyboards and having it wired inside. So like if you have a USB keyboard, you could pretty much just solder connecting and a connector on each end inside of where the keyboard connects and just connect that in the middle. It'd be inside of the keyboard. No one would ever know. He could take it around and replace other people's keyboards because he works in a corporate network where they all have the same keyboard. So he could take it, say, oh, I need to replace your keyboard, put this temporary one there, and record all the keystrokes going in and out of it. So that would be a completely stealthy way of doing it. But I think that one does Wi-Fi and everything, so it would transmit back over Wi-Fi. See if I read that right. Yeah. So date and time stamping and Wi-Fi. And I mean, you could see how small that is. You could easily fit that into a charger, so it wouldn't be that hard, I feel. This was pretty cool. Everyone's seen Mad Max, I hope. The backyard scientist is back again, and he made the Mad Max flaming guitar in real life. That's pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind having one of those. Also, Comixology is a comic reading app for your phone. You can read comic books on there. Apparently, they're offering a unlimited subscription now, so you can get all of their comics for just $6 a month. So if you're big into reading comics, or you have a bunch of comics and you don't want to take them out of their packages because you're trying to safe keep them, you can still enjoy them and read them on your phone for $6 a month. I'm not sure what kind of catalog or inventory they have. I imagine they'd face the same woes of copyright as Netflix does. So check that out. But for $6 a month, if you like comics and you spend a lot on it, that's probably a good deal, I feel. So this was a really interesting article. So apparently, Geek Squad employees allegedly searched PCs for the FBI. So I'm guessing they had access to the customer database when they saw a computer come in that was a red flag suspect or something. they would have the Geek Squad employees search the drive and report back to the FBI. Oh, that sucks. So Quark looked into it, says it's no Marvel or DC, which those are like the largest comic book brands out there. And Marvel appears to have its own subscription service, so copyright woes, like I said. That sucks. Yeah, there's always going to be one group that doesn't care about doing online subscription services yet.
Apparently, on that Geek Squad article, it was just one person the FBI paid. It wasn't like they had contracted with the Geek Squad to do it.
As far as they know.
Well, yeah. But apparently, this guy helped them in cases from 2009 and 2012 in child pornography cases. But if I were the FBI, I would be concerned about any evidence that this person collected being not admissible.
Yeah.
And later, if they attained a search warrant based on this information, that search warrant would be deemed worthless, and then they wouldn't be able to prosecute this person. That's some pretty dangerous water they're treading on.
Yeah. But again, that's why I said as far as you know, because they probably have other secret employees on the payroll, and as long as nobody knows, it's not illegal, right? Especially when the government does it.
Yeah, not sure how that works.
I don't think you've talked about this already, but I may have missed something. But did you do the robot post yet?
No, the robot that served food in some restaurant.
Oh no! If you have another robot post, that's great too. But basically, Apple supplier Foxconn cut 60,000 jobs at a single factory, and they replaced those jobs with robots. 60,000 jobs, that's pretty significant.
Not unexpected, though.
No, not unexpected, and of course you would expect to see it in China prior than maybe here. But I just thought that was interesting, and it's happening very, very quickly. So there's that. It's not good news, but this should basically cause us all to look at what.
Yeah, now I feel like I have to go find that robot story because it was happier than that.
Yeah, please, actually. Oh God, that's so depressing. Oh. Going the way of Lego and Wendy's and everyone else. Yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of robots and replacing humans, there's a new, I think it's Ridley Scott movie coming out called Morgan. It feels very Alien-esque how they did the trailer for it, but apparently they created some artificial intelligence that's growing like a person, and it goes bad, real bad. It seemed like an interesting trailer, though. I'm actually anticipating seeing the movie itself just from the trailer. I don't have any release date stuff on it yet, though, apparently.
Did you talk about Facebook yet today? I don't think.
Scanning your phone calls?
Yeah. I mean, I want to know exactly how everything was configured in this particular case to understand if, but it was a little bit disturbing. Especially how quickly that occurred.
Are you gonna cancel your Facebook account, Michael?
No, I've not had one now for years, but it's I know a lot of people do still use it, so just heads up right there. And
Yeah.
Facebook goes on to explain the feature if you want to hear Facebook's side of it. So,
What does it say? What's their explanation for it? That it requires permission, but it doesn't actually use that permission?
Well, it's a little questionable there in response to Georgia. No, we don't record a quote unquote. No, we don't record your conversations. If you choose to turn on this feature, we'll only use your microphone to identify the things you're listening to or watching based upon the music and TV matches we're able to identify. If this feature is turned on, it's only active when you're writing a status update. Note, this optional feature is only available in the US right now. I don't know if that's really an explanation so much. But again, remember my question
So
was
it's not recording your
how
phone
you have
calls
it.
at all. It's just it's not recording your phone calls at all. It's just using it as a like Shazam style service.
Yeah. So I mean, it is listening though. It's not specifically listening to your phone calls, but it's listening. And if you weren't aware of that, so there's limitations, and that's what I was initially thinking. There are limitations to the exposure on this, and it's how you use the
It's
software.
not like if you're talking about mafia hits while you're posting a Facebook status that it's going to tag that as.
Well, but I don't know.
It's the mafia crew.
Creepy, if nothing else. I don't know. I don't know. Take it as you will. I'm just passing it along.
I mean, it's not that creepy. Like you're posting a status update and they have options for listening to. So instead of typing it in, it's just like, do you want to add that you're listening to this station? This
I don't
song?
think I ever want my computer to listen to me. Ever.
Your computer is listening to you right now.
I know, but I don't want it to ever take commands via that. I've never wanted the voice interaction or whatever with the computer. I don't like the idea of the Star Trek, where they talk to their computers all the time. That's problematic forms of input. I believe.
Yeah, RTM
lights
Tech.
and switches. If you can't have lots of lights and switches, it's not good.
Google has that same style feature. They don't do it for status updates, but you can listen to TV and radio, and it'll tell you, or music, and it'll tell you, it'll identify it. It's actually pretty nice for the TV. If you have a TV on at a bar and you want to know what the show is or something, you can have it listen to the television, and it'll tell you what the show's about and give you lots of links off of it. So actually pretty nice. And yes, always remember to remove your battery before discussing any mob hits. Definitely a good call.
And does anybody use Fitbits out there? Did we talk about that? No. Yes. It's
Quark. No, you can't remove the battery with most modern day smartphones. A lot of them you still can, but iPhones definitely not.
That's why
can't.
The sledgehammer technique always works.
The SIM card, and you can power it down. So those two options should put you in safety.
Yeah, powered off SIM should be fine, right? Yeah, so that's good. Now, if anybody had or used a Fitbit tracker, I hope you weren't relying on accurate heart rate monitoring, because apparently it doesn't appear that that it is very accurate. And there's a class action lawsuit associated with that. So we'll see where that goes. Not that any of this will ever get any compensation for any of that.
I am here.
How much did that heart rate tracker that you had cost?
Which one?
The one that only did heart rate tracking.
And the first watch?
No, not the watches, but the first thing that you had before
the thing that went on my wrist?
Yeah.
$50.
So, and that thing was like a watch times like 4. and that was an accurate, and that's all it did, right? It just did heart rate monitoring,
It was
right?
blood pressure too.
How
Blood pressure
inaccurate
and
was
heart
it?
rate.
Wait.
That one's accurate because that's all it was designed to do, and it wasn't accurate if you're doing stuff or you had like sweat or something. Is that correct, Johnny?
Right.
Okay, so
So
there were definite limitations to it. Was
yeah,
this maybe a case of them representing the limitations of their products?
well, Johnny wanted to get one of the heart rate trackers because she has a heart condition, so she wanted to be able to check her
It
heart
makes
rate.
sense. There's
That.
lots of reasons why you might do that.
So we tried the gear. Was it the Gear Fit first?
Yeah.
And that one was terribly crappy.
Mm,
Um, then she got the Moto 360, and that one's still just as inaccurate. And
hmm
those are devices that cost like $200 to $300 when they came out. So
Yeah.
it's crazy that they cost that much and they're that small and they don't do what the $50 one from CVS did.
It is, and we rely upon technology so much these days. For instance, there's blood testing that people do. Some people do. There's other types of testing that we do. Temperature certainly is a very common thing to be done electronically these days. And there's even devices that can plug into your cell phone, for instance, to read temperatures. But I worry because apparently these aren't the efficacy of these, the actual accuracy of these, that aren't really monitored, and it's a concern.
Yeah, to be touting your product as something that does it and then have lots and lots of small print that says it doesn't really do this right. So
Yeah, and if that's the basis of if that's your business model, I mean, I would consider that to be dramatically flawed and almost to the point of, being illegal in the sense of consumer protection. But apparently, another sign that our country is in a decline as far as education and um, privacy and security and maybe self-awareness. I don't know. You could read a lot into it, but I don't know if you've already posted this. I hope not. About the passwords. Did you post anything about passwords?
about the old people have better passwords than young
Yeah,
people.
did you already cover that?
I have a link for it though, but you can go ahead and post your link for it.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I kind of see that as another sign that maybe we're actively dumbing down our
No, I think it's because we've actually scared the crap out of old people with computers, so they use complicated passwords, and
you really
young people
that's your
just don't care.
interpretation.
Yeah, young people just don't care, so they use crappy passwords. Um,
I'm
plus,
I
old
know,
people
but is not caring appropriate in the current type
old
of
people have
environment.
a general sense of maintaining privacy and things of that nature, whereas young people don't really have that sense at all. So,
That's an interesting point. I certainly consider that to be valid and accurate. What you did, that last statement that you just said, but I don't know if I don't know. It's interesting data point, and I guess I can't read into it specifically what I was, but we certainly took the story two completely different directions, I believe. So take that as you will, but it'd be interesting if you all out there might ask your elderly relatives maybe or customers if what they do as far as their passwords are concerned. I don't recommend
well,
that you
and
ask
I also
customers what their
feel that
passwords are, but if they could provide a
I
certain.
also feel like it goes off of a a general take on how they use the technology. Like if they're being forced to use it, like so my grandmother on my mother's side, she has been forced into technology. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it, but because of Facebook and pictures and phones and sharing, like she has to be into it. Johnny spent like a few hours trying to help her with her Facebook contacts, and
Mhm. Mhm.
friends and how that all worked and why she was friends with all these people that she didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I'm
So people
familiar.
like that, I would imagine, would be like really crappy passwords. They would just be, oh, I don't really care, just 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 will work fine for me. But on the other side, my grandfather on that same side is super into technology and he loves playing around with it and is tinkerer and all that stuff. He probably does have more secure passwords and he probably has not the best managing points of those, like probably has sticky notes of all his passwords everywhere to remember them,
But he has a concept of the idea behind the passwords, why longer passwords are generally better, and things like that. Yeah. So I posted another related or one that's the actual I think report the that was released. I don't know if it's easy to get. It doesn't look like.
the death of the password, is that not related to Google wanting to end passwords by the end of the year?
Yeah, you would think, but these were related, so I'm assuming that this, once you read the white paper, that it discusses. No, is this totally unrelated? I'm reading two different things here. No, it was the data in their. Yeah, it was the data in their study that was the basis of that article that I posted. I don't know why that article was commissioned. The original, why this white paper was commissioned. So I need to look into that. It might be unrelated to this.
Yeah, Quark. Misrepresentation is just as bad as what they do with supplements right now. Johnny also has some choice words on that. She likes fish oil a lot.
Fish oil is great. It's a
Snake
good snack for
oil.
dogs. It's a good
It is
snack
snake
for
oil.
dogs. Snake
You said
oil?
fish oil.
Fish oil. No, fish oil is snake oil.
No, it isn't.
All
No,
the
it's not.
supplements are snake oil.
No. It's definitely not fish oil. I mean, if it's a supplement, it has a 1-to-1 correlation. You start taking fish oil and it immediately lowers triglycerides. I mean, it's the most magical substance I've ever seen. If
That's right. Michael
call
was
it
the big
magic.
fish oil
Michael,
crazy.
No. I mean, it's every doctor that I've talked to recommends it for
Michael is super into fish oil supplements.
every endocrinologist and every doctor I've talked
He
to.
hates
Whenever
triglycerides.
I've said, whenever there's been an issue about triglycerides, they've all recommended this, and I didn't really understand what the issue was, but there's been there's a lot of current studies in place, and they're probably going to have like an announcement or something.
Our TM Tech says it's built up and knocked down constantly, so it is basically snake oil.
No, I mean, again, it's an opinion.
Snake oil sellers are out there saying,
so
buy
I have over 300. I have over
researchers
300
are like, it doesn't do it.
triglycerides. The only change in my diet and activity and everything else for the triglycerides is taking the fish oil every day. Okay, so and all of a sudden it's fine. Same exact thing happened to my mom. Same exact thing happened to my dad. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't happen to some people. I'm sure they have some magical immunity to fish oil, or they already natural. I don't know what, or they eat a lot of fish to begin with, so there's no effect. Oh, it's not doing anything. Well, yeah, you live in Iceland and you fish every day.
The point though is that you eat. It's better if you just go out and eat fish and not buy some supplement which they claim to be fish oil.
Unless you live on the beach and can fish and eat enough fish for several meals a day, which most people can't just do based upon time and everything else. It's not feasible to actually eat that much fish.
You don't have to have live, fresh, out of the pond fish. You can just buy fish at the store.
Yeah, you can just buy fish at the store, but it's typically expensive. It's a lot cheaper to buy fish oil.
Fish sticks are like the cheapest thing ever.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd go the fish stick route.
Fish stick route. Yeah,
between real fish and minced fish.
Yeah, and so for instance, and if you go the fish stick route, you're probably getting so many bad things from everything else. If they did a study, they would say, "Oh, fish sticks are the worst thing in the world for you." But in reality, it's
But
not.
it does lower your triglycerides.
Fried. It's the fried part. Well, I don't know. I mean, it
Fish
depends on how much.
transmission fluid is so much better.
Yeah. The
Um,
fish transmission.
but by this I don't. But also, but there's a problem with it. If you're thinking, oh, I have a pond behind me, and I want to go out and I want to pull a fish out every day and eat it. Well, that's not a good idea. I think it's only recommended to have like two times a week. Fish caught. Not ocean fish, but basically, yeah. So, if that's the case, then that's much more unsafe, for other reasons. And so I don't necessarily want to promote the addition of fish for the economic concerns and other concerns, but if you can, just eat more fish. I mean, but people have been telling you that forever. People say, "Oh yeah, eat fish 5 times a week."
Unless you're pregnant, then don't eat any fish.
Well, that's more of the harm to the baby with all the things that we're talking about, like the mercury and other things that tend to accumulate in fish and other creatures in the ocean and otherwise. So, you got to be. It's a balance, of course, but there is a tremendous, almost an avalanche of data to suggest that this is an actual
the avalanche of data. Let's go ahead and look at those Google search results that
just because you find a lot of search results that say one thing or another.
GNC fish oil, Nature's Bounty fish oil, WebMD recommends fish oil. 3 reasons why you need fish oil scientific review, Wikipedia, 10 omega by Dr. Axe benefits.
Whatever you want to believe, I'm just saying it provides results. And nobody that I've ever recommended to who actually gets the test done and can show the triglyceride numbers has, shown me otherwise, basically. You show me a person who takes it and doesn't lower their triglycerides if they had high triglycerides to begin with.
Right. I'm sure fish oil is a lot better for you than Advil.
Beavis, no, I don't believe that's what I'm talking about. It's based upon, in my case, personal experience and the experience of my family members and any friends and people that I've just recommended it to. Come to me, they show me in fact, why this person was asking me, he comes to me with his test results from the doctor and asked me what he should do with his with these results. Apparently doctors these days just give you the results. Here it is. I don't care what you do. Just do whatever you want, walk off. Or maybe they did discuss it, they just didn't listen. But whatever the case is, he didn't seem to know.
How do you think they make fish oil?
From fish, from krill specifically, usually.
Yeah, so it's just whale food. It's not even real fish.
It's not even real fish. No, they go into the fish oil. That's because it's not the fish. The fish are unimportant. If you could provide this chemical that's inside them that comes from fish oil.
I wouldn't say fish are unimportant.
There's a name of it. I forget what the name of it is. I call it fish oil, but there's the chemical component in it. That's what's important. And that's what these tests are trying to do.
Acids.
It's not specifically omega. There's another 3-letter name or something for it.
Well, let me go grab my fish oil tablets and I'll let you know.
But but this name I've seen in the recent studies that I think they're refining it possibly down to. I know omega-3. That's the first thing that comes to my mind as well. But let me see.
DHEA.
That DHEA doesn't sound like what I was doing, but maybe it was EPA. Maybe it was EPA.
See, Beavis is smart. He makes his own fish oil. Just puts fish into the olive press.
I mean, that would be fine. Imagine. Wow.
You taking fish oil supplements kills whales. You might as well be out there. It
doesn't kill whales. Krill is one of the most abundant food sources on this planet.
You know how big whales are? They need it.
You eating bacon kills pigs.
I know bacon kills pigs. I'm fine with that.
Oh my god.
But you shouldn't be out there killing whales. But Michael is recommending killing whales to all his family.
Let's see.
And bacon is delicious. There you go.
That's a matter of an opinion.
What's in your fish oil, Proctor?
I'm not sure if this has additional additives or not because it's not just fish oil. MCT oil, CLA, omega-3s.
And supplements aren't FDA regulated, right?
Maybe it's N3. Maybe it's N3 fatty acids. N3. Is that the same thing as omega-3? I don't know.
It is omega-3 fatty acids. 2 people in the chat confirmed it. You just don't want to believe it.
Okay, well, maybe then I'm just seeing that thing. Maybe that is what it is.
Anyway, I guess if your snake oil helps you, then congratulations. They'll continue to make money off of you.
Well, again, if it didn't provide the results on the test, I would not recommend it. It just turned out to be a cheap addition to
RTM Tech, you're right. They should genetically engineer a pig to provide fish oil. And yeah, if we're putting...
And that would probably... You're right, actually. That would probably make... If they could do that and not tell people because...
If that gets out, it could alter the flavor of bacon.
Well...
It's possible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want fish oil bacon.
No. Maybe we can get like a goat or a sheep.
Well, you know, it makes you wonder, like the chemicals that are good for us and the things that are good for us. Why don't our bodies just generate them on their own? You know, why, like vitamin C? Why do we practically have all the plumbing except for like just the one gene? Like, is the difference? You know, why do we pretty much have all the plumbing to make it and we don't? It seems it's like, you know, you break some things with that, you improve some things with evolution, and you break some things with evolution. Yeah.
Who does what with evolution?
You know, as far as we have advantages, you know, against other creatures that do produce vitamin C, certainly, but in the grand scheme of things, we aren't able to. That's a deficit on us. If you were to,
you got to remember, fish are also cold-blooded. We're warm-blooded.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of differences. Yeah, I know, but I wish it was very easy. We may be able to engineer, you know, improvements. There was actually a story, I don't know where it was, but about chimeras.
Genetically engineering people, that gets awful close to very bad things.
Do chimeras about basically combining, you know, half human, half something else.
No, that
serious news article. The serious news story.
Close to the final solution.
The final
Beavis wants to know what creature generates its own vitamin C.
Oh, what creature? Oh, fruit bats.
The orange monster.
Fruit
all gingers
bats.
do it.
Fruit bats.
Fruit bats generate their own vitamin C. They don't.
Dogs. Cats.
Where are you getting this
your sciences from?
They don't. They make their own vitamin C.
With like what, a mortar and pestle?
No, their bodies create it for them. They don't have to supplement it otherwise through diet. We do. We have to eat vitamin C or else we get what's otherwise known as scurvy. But you know, there's a whole slew of animals that or mammals at least that yeah.
Where are you getting your science from?
Here, this is here's the article that he read the headline of. So
no, I don't know. What is that article? I've never seen that article in my life.
Live On says that it's long noted that animals, except for guinea pigs, monkeys, and humans, can produce their own vitamin C. Scientists have apparently extensively studied the human genome and identified the defunct genes for the synthesis of the active enzyme protein.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
but
it also sounds like I can string a bunch of BS words together and people will believe it.
Okay. All right. Well, They actually have cited sources here, by the way. You do see that, right? It's rare that people cite their sources.
Still fish oil.
Fish oil is FDA approved to treat to lower triglyceride levels.
Oh, so
and
the Food and Drug Administration
article about.
But where you get the fish oil is not FDA approved or regulated.
You're correct.
Who the hell cares as long as you get it?
They say, oh, you should have it, but we're not going to regulate how you get it. So that's what I'm saying, Michael, is and that's what this whole conversation started off of, is you have absolutely no idea what's in your supplements. They can put whatever they want on the label.
Well, that's fine, as long as they're putting the fish oil in it. I don't give a fuck.
You don't know, though.
They say there's fish oil in it. They only have to put a minute amount of actual fish oil in it to say it's got fish oil in it. To claim it.
I think I can test it, so let me test it and see.
Do you have a fish oil testing machine?
No, I'll probably have to order something, but yeah, I'll get something if it's reasonably priced.
Fish oil testing.
No, I mean I could probably do it with the chemistry set. With the right research, it's not probably that difficult.
I don't know. Maybe you should let somebody else test it. I'm already not really sure about your
you know what? Okay, so
if you really want,
apparently seeing it, feeling it, hearing it, experiencing it is still not good enough proof for you guys. I can't help you.
That's what I'm saying about snake oil, is that there's lots of people that sold snake oil and seen, felt, and heard it, and they were completely wrong. They were just drinking water.
But the tests have to do it. Well, yeah. The placebo effect is a very real effect. But the thing is, they don't have the studies. Does the FDA say that that the placebo effect is the recommended treatment for any disease, any problem, or any medical condition?
Michael is Walter White now. He's gonna start testing all products for fish oil content.
I definitely will. I might even, once I figure out how to do that, I might be well on my way to
fish oil meth, man. It lowers your triglycerides while you get high.
Well, if I could, but I want to supplement a line of fish oil dog treats for overweight dog triglyceride problems. So. Anyway, lots of good ideas, but you're right. I guess don't ever trust anything. I mean, just because it looks like a chicken and tastes like a chicken doesn't mean it has chicken genetics. I mean, it's possible you've eaten some sort of weird chimera or something. Again,
vape some fish oil.
Lots of things apparently taste like chicken, for instance. So if McDonald's chicken nuggets or whatever, you really trust what's inside those? I mean,
I don't trust anything that comes from McDonald's.
Fish oil.
Future Tech Quark, you've done a good job finding something that Michael rant on.
I didn't mean to rant. Sorry.
RTM Tech vaped some fish oil instantly. His IQ went up and cholesterol went down. So I guess there are benefits.
Instantly. I don't think anything does instant results. I didn't take my first 2 capsules of fish oil didn't instantly do anything to my body. I don't think.
I don't need to trust McNuggets though. It's fine. Whatever they are, they're fine. They taste good. They haven't killed me. It's fine. It may kill me eventually one day, but that's a lot of combinations of effects, not just the McNuggets. And that pink
the Raspberry Pi causes cancer, by the way, too.
Google's going to contribute to Raspberry Pi 3 ASAP.
I guess technically, by extension,
Android sucks.
Anything that's manufactured that might consume some sort of fossil fuel or something like that could potentially be contributing to your risk of cancer.
Hey, let's move on.
You can say that for anything.
Here's some cool things. Here's a bunch of dynamite blown up underground. That's awesome. I could watch that all day.
Dynamite?
I did watch it most of the day last night.
Okay.
Yeah. They just blow up a whole bunch of dynamite underground. It looks awesome.
Is that good for the environment?
Yeah. So they can destroy the environment.
Might that cause earthquakes as well?
That wouldn't cause earthquakes.
Yeah.
That's how they build tunnels.
That was really cool.
Right?
Did you hear about Toyota partnering with Uber, by the way? I thought that was kind of interesting. I wonder where that'll take them.
Who's partnering with Uber?
Toyota, and it looks like last month, Google, Ford, Volvo.
Beavis says it aerates the soil.
Lyft and Uber all together joined a
Dynamite
spur the development.
Yeah, Nick would have really loved that.
There's a lot of companies involved in that. Self-driving vehicles, particularly, not so much the Uber concept, but the self-driving concept.
Yeah, there's also a big viral video of some guy being videotaped that he fell asleep with Tesla's auto drive. So he's like this on behind his Tesla.
Yeah, I know, and didn't he survive perfectly
Not
fine?
how that auto drive was made, though.
No, but didn't he survive and everything was fine?
They didn't have anything about it going. It was just somebody was randomly driving by and saw this dude was passed out behind the wheel of his car, and his car was driving. So,
was there any problems as a result of that? I mean, did he get into an accident? Did somebody pull him over? Did the cops? I mean, if everything was fine, so.
No, it was just a viral video. Do you not know how these things work? People just record.
I don't understand this whole social reality TV 24/7.
He was making fish oil.
I don't get it.
That's the truth. So no, TNMT can't create earthquakes, but TMNT can create earthquakes.
Huh. Dynamite. Is that yeah, can we even say that without violating some sort of
yeah, you can say it. So hey, is this the way you would want to wake up in the morning? And they got a point. The camera person on that was totally rock solid. I probably would not have been as
Ninja Turtles. Oh. Sorry to interrupt.
I would not have been as firm a camera person when recording that if I woke up to that. So
no joke.
Just out here camping, and oh, look what's licking my tent. That's great.
Well, imagine if he'd have freaked out, they may have attacked him.
That lion licking the tent.
Yeah.
So that thing about the X, a lot of users probably talked about it already. We're upset because hitting the X on the thing that tells you about the Windows 10 upgrade actually initiates the upgrade. But apparently Microsoft made and are putting out an update to have another notification to prevent people from upgrading, but this was in a BBC report. Did you guys talk about it at all?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What were you talking about, BBC?
The Microsoft and the X with the Windows 10 upgrade. I know we've talked about the Windows 10 upgrade before, but it just gets funnier to me. Hitting the X, though,
that's exactly what Nick has been warning that hitting the X's do.
Yeah, it says basically yes.
Whatever they want. Basically
says yes to what they're being asked, and so this touches on that a very good point there. So this is that exact same thing, and Microsoft did it deliberately to entice, I guess is how they would put it, or otherwise trick users into clicking that. But they're not technically answering, so I guess it's okay. Nobody ever absolutely said we guarantee the result of what the X does.
Yeah, and RTM Tech mentioned it a while back. So speaking of the FDA, have y'all heard about the new labels coming out? They're going to have larger font. That's awesome. And they're going to break down how much sugar has been added.
Cool.
Instead of just telling you how much sugar's in there. You're going to say this much sugar comes with it, but then we added this much sugar.
Yeah, I like these ideas, particularly the sugar one, obviously. So.
F the FDA.
Yeah.
So there's it's long been known that you can put Windows 10 IoT on Raspberry Pis, not the Odroids, but there's finally a use for it. I tested it out when I got
it. There's a use finally. Oh wow, that's good.
But they have it so that you can share your 3D printer with your whole network. So you can have your 3D printer somewhere that's quiet and away from everything, and anyone can print to it. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. It's kind of cute.
And speaking of Raspberry Pis, more stuff you can do with the Pi that you can't do with Odroid for our special segment.
And maybe not the.
This one.
Still, Windows 10 IoT should work on the other.
Nope,
platforms.
It doesn't. It doesn't work at all. Odroid's terrible. But this one you can make a few alternatives to a Pi Arcade. It mostly includes cabinets that you can build around it, but if you're interested in making your Pi into a retro gaming console, those are some pretty awesome ways to do it. I kind of like the IKEA coffee table and the full-size game cabinet, but pick your poison on that, I think.
So here's the here's a cool YouTube video of basically Retro Boy, the portable gaming console based on an Odroid in a Game Boy case. So it's a different Odroid model than I particularly have, but it's definitely not something that is exclusive to the Raspberry Pi.
Congratulations, you found the one video out there of someone selling snake oil for the Odroid. Check out this awesome liquid metal watch. That is actually a pretty cool watch. Not nearly as cool as what my Android Wear can do, but I don't think that the Android Wear would be able to do it so smoothly. So I thought that was a pretty cool Terminator style watch. Yeah, the coffee table is probably the best, I feel. And hey, we like Legos here, right?
Yes.
This person went out and made a pop-up Lego book. I don't know how he did it, but it's freaking huge and it's freaking awesome.
Pop up? Did you say pop up?
Pop up Lego.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but just look at it. It's possible.
That's wild.
Totally cool.
Wild. Oh, I gotta watch this video. How does he do this?
And it's a good thing that your snake oil doesn't include any part of this tree. Apparently, the most deadly tree in the entire U.S. is found in Florida. It's native to the Central and South America, North South America mainly. But this tree is like everything about it is deadly. You eat the fruit, it tastes sweet, but then it kills you. You touch the sap, it kills you. You touch the bark, it kills you. They can use it, the oak, they can use the wood for utensils and things, but they won't even cut the tree down. They'll actually burn the tree down and then take the log and dry it out without ever touching it. And that's the only way you can neutralize the sap inside of it. But pretty much everything about that tree is deadly. I thought that was a pretty cool article, actually. What else we got? You have anything else, Michael?
There's I don't know. Not really. I think we've overexhausted the number of links we've provided today.
Well, then we'll do one more. So this is a awesome use of drone footage. You can see over 70 sharks in a feeding frenzy. That is pretty cool. I hope they make the drone landing back to the boat, because I definitely would not want to go back and try to get it if they miss the boat. But alright, that is our hour time limit for the day. So unless anybody else has anything else they want to talk about or mention real quick?
I have a link here about a Verizon customer who called in and apparently was the guy asked if he's okay with being recorded, and he says that he's fine with it because he's also recording the phone call, and then the Verizon guy promptly says Verizon does not allow their reps to be recorded, and so hangs up, except they themselves are recording the phone conversation for quality and training purposes, right? So I don't quite get this. There's I guess the link to it.
That makes sense with all the Comcast fallback.
So yeah, I mean,
they want to have you recorded so they can use that in their favor, but they don't want themselves recorded for you to use it in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what happens when we give companies monopolies for their customers.
What'd you say, Brantley?
Or to leak to the internet to tarnish the company's reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be a two-way street.
It doesn't. They don't go out and leak to the internet the call that they recorded. They don't say, "Oh, this is what all of our customers look like," just because we recorded this one person that's an idiot. And that's essentially what happens on
They don't have to, but they're going to have to deal with the backlash.
People record one stupid customer service representative, which you got to remember, these people are like minimum wage people that are most likely outsourced in India, which is even far less minimum wage than us, and have very little training except rush through amounts, and they're just doing what they're told. So they can sometimes misinterpret that. But when someone leaks that to the internet, then that entire company's reputation is tarnished for it. Whereas they don't go out and leak your one call and tarnish your entire reputation for it. Michael called in Verizon drunk, and here's the call to prove it. They're not posting that on their company website and calling you an alcoholic and a terrible person.
Oh, they can't, because that's downright slander, but you could post a conversation and let people determine what they want to out of it without making a statement. So that's perfectly acceptable.
So you'd be fine with the company posting that?
You're saying that users of services can't provide feedback on the services.
No, I'm saying you would be fine if, say, you called in Verizon and it was a really bad call on your end, and they just posted it to their website and said, "Don't be like this customer." You'd be fine with that. And let
if I chose to call in drunk, and yes, and I knew I was being recorded, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like you would have some issues with that.
I would certainly think so.
All right, well, please go out. I'm telling the entire world, if I ever call you up and you're recording my phone conversations, please broadcast it to the world. Jesus. You're responsible for your own actions, okay?
Can you confirm your zip code for us, Michael?
No.
I've got one link.
Beavis. That's terrible. That's not true. Some of them are dentists. Dentists aren't doctors. What's your link, Proctor?
Okay. There's a company called Magic Leap that is working on augmented reality products that they actually call mixed reality. They're have partnered with Twilio to provide augmented reality products with communications ability. They haven't released all their exactly what their products features are, but I just wanted to post that link about that.
Yeah, I didn't know about the partnering with Twilio, but we had talked about the Magic Leap augmented reality stuff before.
Okay.
Their demo of it looked pretty cool. Like they're expecting to have like gymnasiums full of kids, and then having like a SeaWorld style event where the gym floor is the water and like a whale can jump out of it and swim.
Okay. Yeah,
nobody likes SeaWorld anymore, right?
It's well, if it's augmented reality, then they would be fine with it. They don't like the animal cruelty version of it, but
how fickle we are.
It is interesting technology. That's like actual light field manipulation stuff. So that's like real hologram stuff coming about.
That is really real hologram stuff.
The only stuff they have, the only stuff they had demos of was video style. So I haven't seen like anyone see it for real life kind of stuff. Yeah, Beavis enslaved their virtual killer whales.
Did you see you guys like here, I'll post this for you. You guys like Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So did you see the one where Conan and the Game of Thrones people play video games, specifically Overwatch?
Nope.
Okay. Well, there's
Doctor, did you watch that Game of Thrones yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
What is wrong with you?
Got too many other things going on.
Oh my gosh.
See, I don't even like or listen, or I never watched. So I can't say whether or not I like it or not. But Game of Thrones, I've never seen it. I have no idea. I've just heard it's very popular, and I did know actually somebody had recommended me some of the books by the guy, R. Martin. But I never did get into them, or didn't. Actually, I think I did try to start them. I didn't quite like it as much. Different type of I like to read different types of things, but at any rate, I recommend things even if I'm not interested in them, and I thought of you guys.
They do that at least once a season, Beavis, and he did call him R. Martin. It's George R. Martin.
George I called him R. Martin, and I just left off the George part. I don't know him on a first name basis.
Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up on that. Feel free to post that comment on the internet, according to Michael, since you're all recording this. Anyway, so thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. If you have any questions about our products or services, that's what we're here for. Otherwise, we'll do this random chatter and chit chat. So thanks everyone for joining us. Futures Tech Quark, Beavis, RTM Tech, Weskers, and Shook if you're there. We'll be back tomorrow, and hope you all have a great rest of your week. Take us on out, Proctor.
All right.